Hello guys, what's up? This is AJ. Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing good. And in this video, we are gonna set up some of our attack animations and see how we can trigger damage on playing those animations. So first, we are gonna need an enemy for this. And just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna have a capsule as the enemy. So let's just scale it down a little bit. Oh yeah, I think this is fine. Let's just move it, say here. And I'm just gonna give it red color. And I'm gonna call this punching bag. Now I'm gonna go to our scripts folder and I'm gonna create a new folder here. This is gonna be core because these are the scripts which are going to be shared by players and enemies alike. So I'm just gonna create a new script and this is gonna be hell. Now I'm gonna go to player folder inside scripts and create another script. This is gonna be fighter. Now in animations folder, I have created a new folder called attack and imported some of the animations using this character from XMO. Punching, some kicks, and yeah. So one thing you gotta do when you import these animations is you have to set the animation type as humanoid under rig and other definition as create from this model. In animations, I have set everything over here to original, root transform, rotation, root transform, position Y, and exit, and check bake into pause. This is because if you don't do this and you use these animations and when you play it out on the scene, it sometimes looks awkward because the animations get restricted in the 3D space. So make sure to do that before you move on. And in animators folder, I'm going to create a new animator override controller and name this player 1. And we already have a third-person animator controller which comes from the standard assets packet. The reason why we are going to use a animator override controller is because we already have 4 characters and we're going to have a lot of more characters. So it's not really necessary to create an animator controller for each of these characters when we are going to share a lot of animations like the idle animation and running and walking animations, jumping animations. Everything is going to be shared. Only the attack animations are going to differ. So I thought it was better to create an override controller. And we are going to set the controller here in our override controller to third person animator controller, and we got every animation we have on the third person animator controller here. We just need to maybe replace some of these animations for different characters. Now let's take the third person animator controller and I'm gonna add 2 triggers here. This is gonna be attack 01 and another trigger. This is gonna be attack 02. Now let's add some new states. So for now, I'm just gonna create 3 new states. And I'm gonna set a transition like this. So this is gonna be our first attack and this is gonna be our second attack. So for the first attack, I'm gonna have a cross punch. And let's also just rename this as attack 01 -1 and attack 01 -2. Let's rename this as attack 02 and let's set the transitions. So we don't want an exit time when we are pressing the attack button. So we don't want a transition time from idle animation to attack animation. So I'm just gonna uncheck this and I'm gonna add our trigger. So when attack 1 is triggered, we are going to play this animation cross punch, and I'm just going to set the speed to 2 because the animation is really slow when the speed is 1. And we are going to transition to our second animation, and we are going to have an exit time because we want the whole animation to be completed before going on to the second animation. And I'm going to set this to jab to elbow. I'm going to set the speed to 2. These are just animations which I got from Miximo, and it's free, you can get it from there. And I'm gonna set the, yeah, it has an exit time already, so it should be fine. Let's also set for the second attack. I'm not gonna have a transition when I move from idle to attack 2, and we are gonna set it up on trigger or attack 2 trigger. And for the animation, I'm gonna have inside crescent. Okay, pretty good. Now let's go to the resources folder where we have all the characters, and I'm gonna attach our fighter script to all the characters. Now let's attach the health script to our punching bag. Now let's go to animations, and I'm gonna take cross punch animation. And in animations we got events. So what this does is when we play the animation like this, and when the hand reaches over here, maybe we can add a key here like this and set it to invoke a function on our fighter script to reduce the health of our punching bag, the enemy. And all this is done when the hand is in this position. So we are going to need to give the name of the function we are going to call from our fighter script. So I'm just going to give hit 01 and hit apply. Now if we play this animation in our game, when the hand reaches here, we are going to search for the nearest enemy. Since we have only one enemy, which is our punching bag for now, it is going to be our nearest enemy, and we are going to add some functionality to reduce the health of this punching bag. Now in our fighter script, I'm gonna add a new game object, and it is going to be our target. I'm gonna add a damage, which is gonna be a float, and we are gonna need a animator. I'm gonna call this player animator. And we are gonna get it from, and we are gonna use get component for getting the animator. Now in update, I'm gonna say if input.getKey down 1. So if 1 is pressed, we are gonna trigger our first attack. So that's gonna be player animator dot set trigger attack 01. And we are gonna need a hit 01 method. And this method is going to be called when we play the animation, because we set up the event to call this method in our animation. And we are going to use target dot it's going to be a method which we haven't set up yet. So get component health dot take damage, and this is going to reduce the health of a punching bag. And we're just going to pass in this damage here. Yeah, we are getting these red lines because we haven't made a take damage method in our health script. So let's go to our health script. Let's create a float, or let's make it serialized field. Health point. And in start, I'm gonna set it to, or let's just make another float. This is gonna be starting health, start health, which is gonna be set to 100. And I'm gonna set health points to start health. And we are gonna have another method void take damage, and this is gonna take a float variable damage and reduce our health points by damage. We want a punching bag to take damage only when the player is within range, attacking range of the punching bag, and we don't want to make our punching bag take damage when the player is doing a punching action like 10 kilometers away. So we need to set up a range for that, and I'm gonna call this variable attack range, and I'm gonna set it to 3. Now I'm gonna add another method which is gonna return a bool, and this is gonna be in attack range. And this is just gonna return true if the player is in attacking range of the enemy. So vector 3 dot distance of character, which is going to be transform dot position, because we are doing it in fighter script. Comma target dot transform dot position. So if this distance is the distance between the player and the enemy is less than or equal to our attacking range, we are gonna return true, and we are gonna just use this to set our damage like this. Only when in attacking range is true, we are gonna call take damage from the health script of our enemy and invoke a damage. Now I'm just gonna set up some more events and their functions for other animations. Let's also have 2 more damage fields for our second and third animations. Let's maybe create a region for all the methods that makes the enemy take damage. Now on our player 1, I'm just gonna drag and drop a punching bag for a target game object, and I'm gonna set the damage 1 to 2. Damage 2 is gonna be 3, and damage 3 is gonna be 5. Let's also quickly swap out a third person animator controller on player 1 with a player 1 animator override controller. Now let's hit play and see if this is gonna work. We got a punching bag with health set to 100 and start health is also 100. And when we press 1, our character is gonna play the attack 0 1-1 and then transition to attack 0 1-2, which are our attack animations, punching animations. And when we press 2, it's gonna play the second attack animation, which is kind of a cool kick. Now let's try moving towards the punching bag and do the same. So I think, yeah, this should be close enough. Let's just try to punch the enemy. And yeah, the health points of our punching bag is getting reduced, so that's good. And it's working on our second attack as well. So yeah guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Hope you like this video, and please like, share and subscribe if you like my content. Hope to see you soon. See you, bye.